NFL Draft. I'm Birdhead, this is Mullet Man, and we are
the Zubaz brothers.
It is draft day, Mullet Man.
That means the NFL season officially kicks off after free agency. We're ready to go.
Well, now we sit here, of course, we're excited about the 2025 season, but let's not forget that we don't just have one Lombardi, we got two. And our good friend Jeffrey, most refer to him as Mr. Laurie. But Jeffrey, I called him up and said, hey, what up, homeboy? Can we borrow the Lombardis for our pre-draft video?
And what did he say?
He said, sure. So these are the official Lombardis. These are not made out of plastic. They're actual metal. And
they're not 3D.
Jeffrey's let us have them on loan for today. Anyway,
which is nice.
We're going to tell you all about the NFL draft and who the Eagles are going to take, including sleepers, right, Mullet Man?
Right, sleepers, but also, you know, we're required to do this because of the contract. So,
well, $10 is $10.
That's right.
And the people need to know, and they're waiting with bated breath on who the Eagles are going to take, because we're going to tell them, right?
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to pick at 32.
Yeah, they've got so many draft picks stockpiled. I mean, Howe is a wizard at moving around in the draft. He loves moving around in the draft. It's what gets him excited. This is Howie's season in full bloom, and he's got a lot of toys to play with in terms of picks this season and next season. Like 20 picks total.
20 picks.
Yeah, so I'd be shocked if he picks at 32.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd be more shocked if they trade out of the first round. There could be a scenario there.
You think he's moving up?
I do, because the player that they want, like last year, was incredible. The fact that Quinyon Mitchell fell to them at 22.
Cooper.
But there were more quarterback prospects worthy of first-round grades last year.
6 QBs went in the first round.
And that's just not going to happen this year.
The defensive talent just came down the board.
Yeah, it slid down. It slid.
This year...
Yeah, this year's a different story.
Now, this year we have depth, right? So we have depth at certain positions that the Eagles may want to target.
All right, tell all our fans, where are the positions of depth in this year's draft?
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, that everybody likes to say that, you know, we left the cupboard bare because we lost a lot of defensive starters, and I don't agree.
I don't like leaving the cupboard bare.
I don't think it's bare. I think we've got young guys ready to step up. On offense, we got Steen. On defense, we got Trott Jr. On defense, we got Keely Ringo. On defense, we got
we got guys.
Sidney
We
Brown.
got young players.
They haven't even shown if they can play.
Hey, you draft guys. Sometimes you got to give them a chance.
That's right. And if you look at the last first and second round picks, the last 9 that Howie picked, they all played in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's not a bad track record.
Speaking of the cupboard being bare,
it's not bare.
My beer cupboard is not bare. So I'm gonna go get another beer from my cupboard.
Do that. I'll start to look at this.
Why don't you tell the people some thoughts on where the Eagles might go in round 1, and then we can talk about some sleepers.
Okay, very good.
All right, I'm gonna get a beer. Maybe you want to get up and get a beer too, but don't turn this off.
This would be an ideal time to do that.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
So Birdhead thinks we might move up because we got all this ammo. We got 20 rounds.
Oh,
20 rounds of ammo.
We're loaded, man.
Between this year and
next. We're loaded.
We also, because it's a depth draft, we could also drop out. Like we did with the Goddard Lamar Jackson trade back in the day after we won our first Lombardi. This one.
Oh yeah, that one right there, Super Bowl 52.
That's the one it was.
Yeah, that was it.
Then we dropped down, then we got more flexibility in rounds 2, 3, 4, and actually in this draft, rounds 4 actually might mean something.
Oh yeah, that's the steal of round 4.
Round 4 is
sort of like The Simpsons. The best season is season 4. The number 4 is like...
Some people say it about Friends, too.
Yeah, season 4. Seinfeld, too.
Seinfeld.
So be aware that season 4 is great for The Simpsons, Seinfeld, and Friends, and it could be the great round for the Eagles.
It could.
There could be some sleepers in that round that we'll get to. But everybody wants to know, tonight's round 1, who are the Eagles going to end up with tonight?
Well... it's always funny when you're 32 because you get these people that want the 5-year contracts moving up. Yeah. I like Birdhead. What I like to do.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I look at the 30 visits.
Oh yeah, what 30 visits did we see?
We have these 30 visits where, you're allowed 30 personal interviews and visits to Philadelphia of these prospects.
Yeah, take them out for a cheesesteak, talk
Yep.
about life, what do they think?
It's right. And
Yeah.
last year,
You kind of pick their brain.
we drafted we actually drafted 5 of them, or 6 of them.
Yeah.
Everyone from Johnny Wilson up to Kenyon Mitchell.
Anaya
we have.
Smith, yeah.
So I've been paying attention to who they've been bringing in, and let's just pick cornerback for instance. I don't know if we need that.
That's kind of a sneaky need because we might need, depending on if Cooper DeJean moves to the outside. Are we going to need a slot guy?
And I don't want to move him. So
I don't want to move him either.
We got Maxwell Hairston, right?
Yeah, he's got
Kentucky.
he's got a first round grade on him.
He
so
sure does. Now
He
remember
could
how
be a
he
guy.
said. So corner, we got Maxwell Hairston 30 visit.
Yep.
Trey Amos, Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Jacob
that
Parrish.
Ole Miss defense was fierce.
Yeah, Kansas State.
Yep.
Those are our corners. So they've
Yeah.
actually interviewed and then Justin Wally, who's expected to go low in the draft, but there's something they must have liked about him.
All right.
Pick another position. I'll get into that.
Well, and I do think if you're
What
looking
do
at
we need?
needs for the Eagles, and they've got a few on the defense, I personally
Uh-huh.
would like to stick with Ole Miss, and it's a popular pick right now, but Nolan is the guy that I'd be looking at. Just
so we
because
did meet with Nolan.
So D tackle is we're a bit. I mean, I like Ajomo,
Yeah,
and
he's good.
obviously Carter is a stud with potential above just All Pro. Hall of Fame potential.
Right.
And Jordan Davis has shown flashes. We hope that he progresses more than just a run stuffer. But besides those 3 guys, we got Booker.
Booker. Booker the fourth.
That's a definite need, and it's a depth position for the draft. So
It is.
could wait. We could wait. We could wait. But if you put Walter Nolan next to Jalen Carter, Walter Nolan is disruptive against the run. He can penetrate. He's a good pass rusher. There might be some slight character concerns, I think, with him, but
Yeah, he was the number 1 5-star recruit out of high school going
Yeah.
into the college ranks.
yeah,
And he had slightly underperformed, but each of his years he's improved.
yeah.
It's a good sign.
His tape's great. I love his tape.
His tape.
I watched tape.
So here's our
Really, I just went on YouTube. It's not really watching tape at all.
YouTube's shorter than tape.
Yeah, YouTube's like digital tape.
Here's what we got. So we've
It's not as good as bubble tape. Remember bubble tape? That was great.
bubble tape. They don't have that anymore.
No, they do have that.
Oh,
And they have Big League Chew, too.
They still have.
Big League Chew. I love a good hunk of chaw. Bubblegum form.
He used to make my okay.
Ground ball grape.
So we've got these are the interior D linemen that the Eagles have brought in for the 30.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Nolan, Tyleek Williams from Ohio State, run stuff for Supremo.
Yeah, he's a Supremo. It's like when you get a pizza. You want the regular pizza or the Supremo? Well, you get that guy. He's the Supremo.
T.J. Sanders, he's a dude from Carolina. Shamar Turner, we've all heard about him from Texas A&M.
We
gonna
have?
go high. Yeah, he's
Oh,
gonna
you're
go
the
high.
guru.
He's going to go high.
I'm
So
just-
they've interviewed
He's a
4
color guy.
interior DLs. And by the way, Milton Williams' loss it's a little bit of a dinger. But you know what?
Yeah. It's Howie season.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the next position?
Well, I know they don't draft safeties in the first round,
They
but
don't, but
we
there's a lot of
decided
talk.
to trade CJ/GJ. Still scratching my head over that one.
I like Sidney Brown though.
Yeah, and they might be looking at bringing in an experienced veteran on a 1 year. There's some guys.
Post draft.
There's some guys that are sitting around. Simmons is still out there that they might want to
I'm
bring in.
surprised he's still.
Yeah, they could get maybe a deal on him if they really need him. But I do like the kid from Georgia and keep
right.
obviously Georgia's on our minds all the time.
I'm glad you do because they've interviewed Malachi Starks,
Yeah.
stud from Georgia.
Yeah.
Ran a slow 40. It might drop. They also got Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State in for a 30. And they got a guy named Jalen Reed from another Penn Stater,
Yeah.
who's probably not that athletic, but a special teamer. And a guy named Ryuan Lane III from Notre Dame. Not the Notre Dame safety that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, the other
It's
one.
The other one.
Yeah.
So there we go. They've interviewed 4 safeties. They've interviewed 4 interior DL tackles.
Yeah, so they're looking at safety to add for sure in this year's draft. They're just not sure when they're gonna go after a guy at that position.
Guess
or
what
in that
position
round, I should say. In
Right.
that round. If they
Right.
don't go, say, Starks in first round, they've got guys in later rounds that they might take a flyer on.
And
And
guess
that's what good drafting you do.
what position do you think they've interviewed more of anyone?
Well, deep D-line, I mean, it's probably offensive line.
Yeah,
Because they're looking at a
it
replacement for Lane Johnson. And
It
I know they
is.
like that kid from Ohio State.
Yeah,
And that would be a good choice too, but Lane has said that he'll play the next 3 years. So they're not necessarily,
they just signed him for 3 more years.
they don't have to run out and get a tackle this year. I mean, they could take a guy later on that might be more of a project. But
Yep.
this
you
is a
got it.
win. That we're winning that week. Hey, we've got 2 Lombardis right here, and again, Jeffrey was kind enough to loan them to us. But wouldn't it be great if we had a third? And this year, there's
Yeah.
no reason to think that we don't have as good a shot as any other team in the NFL. Like, we can't just take a project or a guy that's going to start eventually
Yeah.
in the first round. We need a guy who's going to start right away. That's Walter Nolan is that guy for me.
Yeah.
But Starks could be that guy at safety. We need a plug and play guy.
You want to plug and play?
I want to plug and play, man.
All right. Well, if you want to plug and play, these
Plug
are the
it
tackles and
and
the
play it.
guards that might be competing with Steen as a right guard, and then they're going to
Yeah, maybe move him outside.
You got
All
Josh
right, hit me.
Connerly from Oregon.
Yeah, he's been a popular. He's a
Marcus-
junior too. He's a junior.
Marcus
Yeah.
Embo.
They're not drafting Connolly Senior. Let's just put it out there. Let's put the rumors to bed. They're not drafting Connolly Senior.
Charles Grant from William and Mary.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nothing
Nothing
against William and Mary. I mean, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Where is that place? It's middle.
Williamsburg,
Yeah, Williams. It's a ville in the middle of Virginia.
Orville.
Yeah. I don't
Anthony
know.
Belton from UCLA. Or I'm sorry, North Carolina State. And then
Okay.
we got these guys. We got the Donovan Jackson guy from Ohio State. You referenced.
Yeah.
He's a guard. Wyatt Millam. He's a guard.
These are not football names. You give me a football name. Give me a tough guy.
You want a football name?
Yeah, give me a football
You're
name.
not gonna like this
All right,
one.
oh,
And they
no.
brought him in on the 30.
Oh no.
I swear. From Georgia, Dylan Fairchild.
All right.
I can't see Fairchild in the back of a jersey.
What position does he play?
He's a guard.
Oh, he's another guard.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they brought him in.
they're going to bring in.
Smoke and mirrors.
They are going to draft at least 1, if not 2, offensive linemen in this draft. They're just
Oh,
going
they
to.
will. Oh, for sure.
Right, they're
But
going
here's,
to.
Here's the thing I have a problem with.
Or what do you
No
have a
one's
problem?
talking about Goddard.
What do you mean talking about Goddard?
Post-gen cut. He's going to get traded either this weekend, and we need a tight end. Because Calcaterra is not going to cut the mustard.
No, he's not going to cut the mustard.
So
He
what are
won't
we
cut
going
the
to do?
ketchup.
Harold Fannin Jr.
cut the
from
mayo.
Bowling Green?
I still am holding out hope that they keep Goddard. That they're playing
I hope
this
so.
in a way to have him sign a 3-year deal that's going to be for affordable money.
That would be awesome.
Because he's due what, like 10-some million this year?
He's north of that, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's 13.
I would say they haven't gained much ground or interest in the trade market. So they're not just going to cut him.
No.
This is a Super Bowl
he's
year.
a really good tight end.
I mean, he
Complete
was
tight end.
his play. Like, I get it, he's injury prone. He's missed some regular season
That's why,
games,
Yeah.
but in the play, he's a dominant player. In the playoffs this year, he dominated.
He was awesome in the playoffs.
And his playoff numbers just in his career are
The
amazing.
Green Bay
Like,
game.
the guy is a baller. When it matters most, he plays his best.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player you want. So I would keep him and hope that maybe he'll sign a 3-year deal that's at the number that the Eagles want.
I just want us to be emotionally prepared for the fact that we might end up moving for a tight end of note, like this Mason Taylor's
yeah.
kid from LSU.
Yeah, I'm
Someone
out on
like
that.
just because I don't know if they're keeping him for the finances.
Well, I wish they would
Emotionally.
hire me as their accountant. I'd give them some
we should have
financial
been-
advice, and mine would be keep Goddard.
If it wasn't for Howie Roseman being in charge, I think we all know that we would be GM somewhere else.
Yeah, we just are so brand loyal that we're not going to GM for another
No,
team, and the
I
Eagles
couldn't
are
do
covered with Howie. If
Yeah.
Howie leaves, then obviously Jeffrey would call us,
Right.
and we'd take over, and we we'd be the I mean, it'd be seamless. The transition would be seamless from Howie to us.
When he does call us, do we have to give these back?
He said we could keep them. He didn't say when we should take them back.
All right, we're on to sleepers.
All right, let's do a few sleepers, and then the people are starting to fall asleep. So let's give them some
They
sleepers
are,
and then put them
because
to bed
it's
here.
getting close to the first
Yeah,
pick.
it's almost we're almost there.
Ding, ding, ding. Pick is in. All right, I had a
we
couple
love
of these randos. They're probably going to be special teamers or scout, whatever guys, but
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Kenny Loggins too for the "Pick Is In" song.
pick is in.
I think his lyric was "This is it," but I think it fits better to be "Pick Is In."
Did they know that?
Also, shout out to Michael McD as the co-writer of that tune. For all you at home that didn't know, the McDonald. He's the only one and only Mike. When I be like Mike, I want to be like Michael McDonald.
I remember that.
All right, keep it up.
All right,
Sleepers.
Here's our sleeper.
Sleep me.
It's called Worth Watching from USC.
Yeah.
We have a corner named Jalen Smith. The dude's only 5'10 and 180.
We have enough Jalen's on the squad already, though. Do we
have a
need
lot of
another
Jalen's.
Jalen?
But this Jalen's spelled with an I.
Yeah, we got an E and we've got an A.
I think they're both E's.
They're both E's.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is an I Jalen.
Oh.
That's my sleeper pick. He's from USC. He's a corner. Is he from USC? Yeah.
Man.
That could
Well,
be it. Watch
in
out
what
for
round?
that. 7th or free agent pickup. Like undrafted free agent pickup. That's my sleeper.
That's the real sleeper.
That's my sleeper.
That's a real sleeper. Oh my God, that's like a Rip Van Winkle sleeper. You're sleeping on the mountain after squirrel hunting for 25 years. That's a deep dive.
I don't want to cut
What
this
else we
short, but
got?
we gotta open some cards.
We got some packs to open. We got to polish our Lombardis.
Yeah.
And we got to drink some beers and watch the draft. I think that's it. We got some picks to go
In Howie we trust.
In Howie we trust. Let's go Birds.